sorry for the blooper. I don't know how to edit yet, so I know that probably made you laugh, but um, I'm sorry once again. I just don't know how to edit. Um, but this is a prophetic word, and I do just want to tell you that God doesn't have an ego like that, where He just gotta, parade himself. You better know who I am. No, He don't have to do that. He's our Father. He's our Creator. The reason why He want you to always stay low and acknowledge Him so that He can exalt you in due time and in due season, because Satan will have you arrogant. He know he's a roaming, lying, going to and fro, trying to seek who he can devour. So, with you always acknowledging God and staying low and humble before God, Satan can't use you. He can't entice you with your own, what you thinking about your own self. All that pride, like I'm all that, and then some in a bag of chips. That's what Satan have you thinking. So with this prophetic word, he want me to tell you that you need to humble yourself before he has to. Because a lot has been exhorting their own selves and their own works. Though it is manifested, it is doing great. It is doing well. You're doing well physically, but you have eased God out. Like I said with the last video, you have eased God out. Therefore, making yourself a God, like an arrogant God, a prideful God. And that's something that he's in, like in chapter 2 of Isaiah, he really is wroth with that behavior and attitude. Don't idolize yourself and don't idolize others. Don't idolize your problems in your life. Don't idolize worry, doubt, and fear. Because this world is full of idols. And you got your choice. I mean, from movies to, all types of things. Like, we got a big variety when it comes to this world and idols. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And we choosing everything else over God. We're choosing everything else over God. And for that, he said he's about to bring a lot of us down so that we can look up. Because if we are not brought down soon, having to only look up, the only option that we have is to look up. We're going to destroy ourselves. And we need to know that he is the only one and true living God. I mean, nothing can compare to him. He loves us, but these idols have to go. The sinful behavior, he's saying it has to go. It must go. He has had enough of this fake sacrifices and these offerings when we go to church, even when we're here now, because we're stuck at home. Some of us worship from home. He's tired of all these fake sacrifices and offerings. Read Isaiah 1, 11 through 13. Isaiah 1, 11 through 13. And I'm going to read it for you. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Lord? I am full of burnt offerings, of rams, and of fat of feed beasts. And I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of goats. When you come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand, to tread my courts? Bring no more vain obligations. Incense is an abomination unto me now. The new moons and Sabbaths, the callings of assemblies, I cannot away with it. It is iniquity. Even the solemn meeting. He's tired. He said he cannot. He don't want that anymore. He don't want your money if it's going to be fake and if you're living the way that you want to live, especially arrogantly, and you done pushed him out. He don't want your worship and praise. For those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. He don't want it. No more sacrifices. No more fake sacrifices and offerings and donations. If it's not coming from a purified heart. If you don't have him first. Said, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself. You have to put him first. He is saying today, he would rather for you to bring your prideful self to him. No more sacrifices. No more acts of kindness with all that type of stuff in your heart. And it's not real. He said, bring me the real you. No more sacrifices. No more praise and worship. If it's up under that pride, arrogance, and false humility, he wants you bowed down on your knees to him. Tell him about your haughtiness, your weaknesses, your pride, your arrogance. That's what he want to hear. That's what's going to excite him. Truth. Because those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. He can't stomach, is what he's saying. The lies that he see in your prayer, praise, and worship, in your sacrifices, and the things that you bring to him as far as donating and throwing money at the altar or in the tray. Or now how we do it is online. All we gotta do is click a button. He don't want that anymore. He said, away with it. Read it. Isaiah 1, 11 through 13 again. He can't stomach it anymore. It's too much pride and arrogance, and you have eased him out. And what are you doing it for? To show. It's a show among men. That's what he said. That's what he had me write down. It's a show among men. And he's nowhere in it. He said, bring your prideful self to him and tell the truth about who you really are to him, even though he already knows. He needs you to do that so he can untie his own hands. Once you confess that, he will take the ties off his own hands and start to move in your life. But until then, he can't. Those unfulfilled vows that you made to him. That's what he want to hear. Those promises that you made to him. That's what he want to hear. Otherwise, it's just a foul show before men. And it's a foul stench in his nostrils. And he wants you more than anything else. He wants you, the true you. He don't want any more foul sacrifices or foul praise and worship. Or else he won't hear your prayers. He won't even acknowledge your worship and praise. Isaiah 1:15-16 again. Repent. Once again, repent from your filthy, haughty, foul, prideful, and arrogant ways, he is saying. That's the way he had me put it on here. Or else your behavior and lifestyle, once again, which I said in the first video, your lifestyle will not hold up under this next plague that is coming. He's just wroth right now with the world, but especially his children. So I urge you to beckon, to adhere to this prophetic word of warning and love, because God only warns us and disciplines us in love. Satan abuses you, uses you, and throw you away like a rag doll. I know many of you won't adhere because of the messenger. I say, even if you don't like the messenger, get what you need and throw the bones away. Get what you need and throw the rest away. I know a lot of you is not going to adhere because you love what you in. You love it. You can't help it. But it's going to be your demise because you're up under a delusion, an illusion that Satan has suggested to you. He only can suggest things to you. You have to do the actual act. You make the decision to do the actual act. And your pride, your arrogance, and your false humility is making you act that way. Has made you ease God out. But God is about to bring you low. This is the prophetic word that he said. He's about to bring you low because he loves you. And the only which way you're going to have, an option you're going to have is to look up. Some of you, he's going to have to make you hit rock bottom. Some of you, he won't. But some of you, he will. And he only do it. And he's only going to do it because he loves you. The last part is, he said, come out of your sin. Come out of your sin. Come from among her. Come out of her. Come out of her. Revelations. I think I said 14:4 or 18:4. I think it's 18:4. Excuse me, guys, but it's Revelations. Come out of her. God is saying. Yes, 18:4. Excuse me. Revelations 18:4. Come out of her. Before he has to bring you out. Giving you an opportunity. Because he loves you. And I know once again this was a harsh word. but it was much needed, a much needed word, because he loves you dearly and he desires none to perish. And family, God is about to shake. He's about to shake this earth even the more. He's about to shake the earth even the more. Read Isaiah 2 and 21. Isaiah 2 and 21. To go into the clefts of the rocks and to the tops of the ragged rocks for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake terribly the earth. A lot is going to try to hide when he shake this earth. But it's going to be nowhere that anybody is going to be able to hide. He's about to shake the world. And I just pray that you beckon and adhere to the word, this prophetic word that's coming from the Lord in love. I love you, but he loves you way more than I could ever love you. Until next time, love one another, and I'll see you later.